Good morning and welcome back to Fresh. I'm Julie Dilorenzo, your host for this segment, which of course is sponsored in part by the Elkhart County Living Magazine. We're here at Goshen College in the library. We've got a beautiful display we're going to talk about here in a moment. But first, let's talk to Marla Miller. Welcome back. And we're going to talk about the magazine real quick and how people can get that.
Yes, the magazine is out on the racks right now, so at your grocery store, convenience store, you can pick that up. Or if you want, you can go to our website at maplecitymedia.com. You can click on an issue and look at it there, and then also you can subscribe from there and we'll send it to your home. Or you can give us a call at 533-2151 extension 345 and ask for a subscription, and we'll get that mailed out to you.
Well, Marla, there's some great articles in there. Of course, we've been covering that all June, and we're getting ready to head into July. And one of the things we're going to talk about is what's in the bi-monthly calendar, and that is the quilt show that's here at the library at Goshen College. So we're going to talk to Irvin Beck. Welcome to the show, Irvin. And you were educating me a little bit before we were talking that this is kind of tied in with the quilt murals, but there's also, some people may be familiar with the quilt garden walk, but there's also the murals now, and then you have this lovely display. Talk about how you've gotten started here with the quilts.
Well, we're committed to providing an exhibit of local quilts for as long as the Quilt Gardens and Murals tour, sponsored by the Convention Center, is running, maybe 5 years or so. This is our second one. So people can come here and see real quilts made in Elkhart County and see them interpreted also to see how they fit within Elkhart County culture and what we could call quilt culture in Elkhart County. So this is a real thing.
Right. You were talking to me about, I didn't realize that there is actually a difference between the Mennonite and the Amish quilts. Some get to use pattern material and some don't. Maybe a little explanation on that.
Well, it's based on costume preferences within those two groups, so that the antique Mennonite quilts will be made out of cloth with fine patterns in them, small patterns. But the antique Amish quilts are made out of plain cloth because they don't wear dresses with print fabric. So you get very bold colors and designs, mostly geometric, because originally they were not to reproduce things from nature. Mm-hmm. So everything is geometric, and dark colors, and very plain but very striking designs, which are really very much like some modern abstract art.
Right, and probably they were the first to really create it, and we think not. But you have some gorgeous quilts here in the showroom here, and some great artists that you're featuring. You can talk a little bit about those two ladies and just the magnitude of some of these quilts. With the I have behind me is like this 70s. You know, it reminds me of the psychedelic music from the 70s, and some beautiful flowers and animal prints and so forth.
We really have three different sort of generations of quilting here. One is the antique quilts, which have become well known because people in New York love Indiana Amish quilts, okay, collected by Rebecca Haar. But then there are also new quilts made by Edith Stanholt, who comes out of the Mennonite and Amish tradition. She's a fine quilter, but she's making quilts of very original design. And then there are also quilts by Claire Baker from Middlebury, who moved to Indiana from California and settled in Middlebury, partly because of the great amount of quilt activity here. Her quilts tend to be brighter than Edith's do. Edith's quilts tend to be a little more subdued, but Claire's are very bright. But they're both working within the mainstream or cutting edge of quilt making in the United States right now.
And there are a couple of gatherings, I think, here in Middlebury. You were mentioning that some of the ladies gather from all over the world, actually, to come together and quilt and share patterns.
That's right. In Shipshewana, at least once a year, the Dear Jane group meets, and these women come from Europe and Japan and throughout the United States, and they share ideas and patterns and inspiration. And we have several versions of the Dear Jane quilt here, both full-scale versions and miniature versions, and those are very difficult to make. So yes, this represents the movement of quilt guilds throughout the county. There are many local ones, but this is an international one.
Well, let the folks know really quickly how long the display is here. Is there a cost? The hours maybe of the library, because I really recommend they come down and take a look.
Yes, these quilts will be up until August the 10th. We have to take them down for a new exhibit, although the mural and garden tour continues until October the 1st. Right now, the gallery is open every day from 9:30 to 4:30. There will be a couple of weeks at the end of July and the beginning of August when the library is closed down, although we will arrange tours for groups if they call the library. But if individuals want to visit, they should come now for the next several weeks, and then about the last week, it's up in August.
What's the number here at the library?
Well, I will have to check. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. 574-535-7418.
All right,
There
there
will
you.
always be somebody at that telephone.
All right, good. Well, come and see this exhibit. It's spectacular, and it's something to be really proud of, especially if you're from this area. Take a look at what artists are living right next door. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this short break.